Okay, there's something I'm going to call out on social media. It's foolish behavior. And I'm not one to judge because we've all been there. We've all done foolish things at some point in our lives, haven't we? Going through a post that was glorifying an artist that was talking about scamming. And I paused for a second because I'm not exactly sure what message she was trying to pass across. But in the video, she was basically glorifying scammers and she was telling them to spend their money. Yeah. Now I can see how some people might find that really alluring or funny or cool, but we live in a society where there are vulnerable people, and kids included. Listening to that music is not glorifying the Lord in any way and is not contributing to the evolvement and progression of society either. Now, did you know that 43% of Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency? 33% of them would have to borrow just to do that. In fact, most people are one alternator failure away from needing a payday loan or basically being homeless. Literally, we live in a generation that has decided that what we drive is more important than what we own. And I think this is really where social media contributes to being an economic force. According to a number of Americans surveyed, 27% of them feel that they spend way more than they should because of what they've seen online. And 25% of them are less satisfied with the wealth that they actually have, specifically because of what they've seen online too. That is an entire generation of people who don't feel like they're enough because of what these influencers, artists, and creators are telling them online. The craziest part is that when I was making 100K per year, I completely forgot about the fact that that was a year. It wasn't like I was going to be employed at that firm forever. And I think people get confused about this because, especially if they're making a high salary, they forget that they do eventually have to keep that job, because if not, and they get laid off or fired, can you imagine counting dollars that you haven't earned yet? You feel like you're richer than you are when you haven't even earned the money. And then these years have to pass by in order for you to maintain that job because your wage is connected to time. Right now, I'm an entrepreneur and a business owner who's capable of making 100K and more per year or even per month. But back then, it wasn't like I had all this cash flow, right? Being employed. And so you still have to remain employed. And the problem right now is that people are getting laid off in mass numbers. And it doesn't matter what your salary is anymore. What matters is that you're still able to retain that job. And it's not looking good for a lot of people right now. So this is a spiritual thing and a physical thing. You want to keep your momentum and stick to progress. So when I hear music saying spend that, how about invest that? Invest that. I hate to say it, but I have to say it. Humans are not as evolved as they think that they are. When you start to move forward, you don't want to move backwards. Allowing certain subliminal messages like that into your brain will keep you moving back.